Ahoy, crypto junkies and crypto pirates, as we have here on this channel all the time. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my little motley crew. Thank you guys for holding down the fort while I was gone. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I am officially back for now until I'm not. And you guys had a great episode, man. I appreciate you guys holding it down.
Oh, thank you. We did it for your balls.
Well, I really appreciate that.
I was waiting how long it would take for Popper to mention your balls.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
Hi, Peter. And you know, where there are testicles, there are a Peter.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, that was great. All right, and on we move. So, hey, all of you guys in the chat, appreciate you. News to Rob, Metallic Elmo, Ballet Brand, D'Artagnan 8, Orion, Ballet G, Brian McGruder. It's good to see you guys over there. It is good to see you guys in the chat. So, I haven't checked. I keep forgetting to check Theta. I need to check that more often. Hey guys, Beast Gamer, I didn't forget you over here. We're giving out crates over here to you, buddy. So, nope, you're gone. So you get no crate. Oh, well, it says there's one person watching. Whoever's watching on Theta, make sure to comment in here so I can give you an opening day crate. So, happy to throw that at you here. We're still only 45 followers away, guys, from being partnered with them over there. Oh. So if any of you guys haven't, please make a point to go over there and hit that follow button. I know their system kind of sucks, and when you hit that follow, sometimes it doesn't actually follow. So I don't know what to do, guys, about that. But if you catch it, if you do it from a desktop, it works 100% of the time. It's from the mobile that it sucks part of the time. Metallic Elmo, I just threw you a link if you do want to come on. I know we've been talking. I know you're an old school OG Mexican. I've been talking to Metallic Elmo in the chat since, man, before there were streams to represent us Mexicans. So yeah, come on in, buddy, anytime. A Theta is app-based on your phone, but you can also use it on your desktop. And actually, the experience on your desktop is much, much better than what you get on your phone. They just have some more work to do on their app side, but hopefully it'll be nice.
Hey, KNTX, while we're warming up the show, once you're done, give me a heads up because there are just a couple of quick slides to share.
Yes, I saw those.
There's one more. It's kind of sad actually, but I'll get to that one when we do the first two.
Okay. So this was. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Peter.
Like, what does Papa have for us? Like any of his Photoshop creations?
No. The first one the first one's a very serious one. And it is a Photoshop, but it's really, really cool. And when you're ready, KNTX, obviously.
Yeah. So this is my trip last week, and he compared it with his old heritage. So
yeah, this is my great grandpappy's store in Blackhawk, in the year 1890, and that is him in front of the store with what presumably is my great grandfather. And KNTX found the storefront, as it is as of last week, is now a casino. And I was delighted that he took the time with his family to actually get out and snap a beautiful picture for me and my family to enjoy. And I've passed this around the whole family, and they're very impressed. Thank you so much, KNTX.
Hey, man, it was cool. Yeah, by all means, it was cool.
KNTX is famous, according to that picture. So.
Yep, according to the banner above me, it does say famous. Not gonna lie.
You're famous.
Yeah. So, and it was a pretty quick, easy find. It's just right up the street from Blackhawk, because that's Central City, which is right up the street from Blackhawk. Blackhawk is the more revitalized, newer development of the Colorado version of Vegas.
So this is called Central City, then, is that correct?
Yes. So that store is in Central City.
Okay.
And so it's right next to Blackhawk. I mean, they are like, they might as well be the same town. You can distinguish it by one of them's Blackhawk is the nice new big huge mega casinos, and then like right next door is a little rinky-dink old school buildings from the early 1900s that have been renovated and turned into casinos, and they've got the old style type slot machines and things of that nature. That's Central City right next door to it. So
very cool. But it was called something else way back in the day, like Silver Hill or Silver Creek or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember
Something
it
like
off the top of my
that.
head.
But yeah. But no, you saved me a trip into the middle of Colorado, which I never would do. So I really feel that Hex has brought us together in this crazy mixed up way. And from Japan, I requested that you in Colorado go to somewhere in my heritage, and it happened. That's pretty magical.
That was pretty cool. When you found out where
cool.
I was going, you said, "Hey, can you go check that out?" And so we made a point to do that on. It was the only day it was warm. The rest of the days it was like blizzard, like whiteout outside, like extremely cold. Because you got to understand that's at like 9,000 feet elevation.
Damn.
So it is really cold up there. So people in the old days that lived there, like your grandpappy, that was a miserable existence.
But they came from Russia, so what's the difference?
That's true. That is true. Except for I don't think it's so rocky in Central City that I don't even think there was a lot of crops. You probably had to get crops from down. For your actual food probably had to come from down the hill 25 miles down in the valley near the Denver area.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me. Beautiful story, heritage, grandpa, black and white photo, and thank you, KNTX, thank you. And then at the end, of course, you can see how Papa B's brain works. At the end there, after all those beautiful stories about the heritage, all those beautiful words. Yeah, thanks, KNTX, thanks again. I would never go to that shithole.
Oh, that's awesome. If you like skiing, Colorado it's the bee's knees, guys. That's the nicest way to put it. It's we have the fluffiest pow in the world, so, and that's powder for those of you who aren't aware. Like it's not like skiing on the East Coast where it's all slick and icy. No, it's like you can actually cut in real carves. Like it's like nice powder, soft snow. It doesn't hurt as bad to wreck, and you don't go down the whole rest of the hill sliding on sheets of ice. So it's actually a pretty amazing place to go if you guys.
I if you ski there, and the sound of the crushing of your ski on the powder is just like this beautiful little creak, as you move your skis back and forth. Oh man, I'm about to shut down the stream and go try to hit up Telluride one last time before they shut down for the year. So. Yeah. Well, we got one next one though.
Video.
Notice that Markable is noticeably absent. It's a kind of a sad story. Mission. Yeah, I think we should share for the next shot that JFK 666 actually concocted a wanted poster for our beautiful Dutch Wookiee. And I think you should share that next, and then I've got then the sadness actually.
Real quick, Bali G, it is Discourse Syndicate. So if you do a search for Discourse Syndicate on Theta, you will find it. So there we go. Wanted the Dutch Wookiee for fraudulently using a note from his mother to excuse himself from wearing a mask. Exactly. Reward 500 guilders and anti-COVID suppository.
Yeah. Now, actually, whenever you put out a wanted poster, there's a non-0% chance that a Mandalorian bounty hunter will actually call in the warrant and go for the quarry. And unfortunately, if you can bring up the next picture I just sent you, it's very unfortunate. But actually, Mandalorian did capture him. And he brought in the thing, and unfortunately, you can tell that Mandalorian really the whole.
And that is why he's not with us today.
Exactly, he's made into a rug. Very sorry. The guilders were collected and staked for 5,555.
Looks comfy, guys. Looks comfy.
Hey, that would go.
Wookiee rug.
That would go really well on my ski cabin here in Colorado.
Yeah.
On the floor of my ski cabin, right by
Right
the
near a
fireplace.
roaring fire. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm. Sorry, Dutch Wookie.
Metallic Elmo, thank you, sir, for
Hello.
joining us.
Hi
We
there.
appreciate you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Awesome. I thought
So-
I'd replace Markable.
There we go. Well, it looks like he's going to be
Please.
indisposed for a while. So
What happened to him?
he got caught,
Didn't you see?
got caught
Hell
by the
did
see the
bounty,
picture.
bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you from, Metallic Elmo?
I'm from the Netherlands as well.
Are you?
So-
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
We're only allowed one per show, so it's just fitting that your brethren was taken care of.
There you go. Markable is no longer with us.
Mm.
And
It's
every
sad.
quarter we make a rug out of one of you.
I best be careful.
So
Yeah, I've been watching you guys for a long time. Well, every
yes.
time I watch a show, then something crazy happens. So
Don't watch it.
last time I
Yeah,
tried
that
to
you mean
watch
Papa B.
at work, I saw
We know,
Papa
we
B
know.
with a bag doing
Uh,
stuff. So I
we
just
don't
turned it off.
talk about that. Yeah,
No.
that's done.
That's-
That's never gonna have a bag again with.
It's
That
never
was
gonna
probably
happen
my
again.
favorite episode.
Mm.
Yeah, epic.
That was beautiful.
Oh boy.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving the captain a hard time while I was gone.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Steering
No.
that ship.
Yeah, you took the rudder with you last time, and we
did.
could only sail in one direction, and we just ran right in the rocks at the end. It was awesome.
It's all right.
We got in the dinghy
all right.
together and rowed our way to seek plunder elsewhere.
Well, you
Yeah,
can't
the
really
ending was beautiful. Shut it down. You can shut it down.
shut it down.
Shut it
Go
down
ahead,
now.
shut it down. 12-hour stream. That was awesome.
You think Captain was looking at us and just laughing and letting us suffer? Was that the deal?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh.
I don't see why not. That's awesome. So, hey, I'm gonna Discourse Syndicate. I didn't even write that, so Captain must be watching. He must have been the one to write that. Whale's got a kick out of it. So.
Mm. Well, that's all that
So-
counts.
So I want to bring this up. It's obviously been all the discussion between all the different groups right now. It was a conversation from Richard Hart himself.
Mhm.
Oh, give me a second here. My computer's trying to update right now.
Are
Of
you
course it was-
talking about the pinned messages or a different conversation?
The
I don't
pin
know if
table,
this is-
right?
I don't know if this one is the pinned one. It's not the thought experiment, but it is another thought experiment. So
It's the one with the list, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's the newest one, and that's the one that was. Yeah, I've watched the dissection of this a couple few times, and
You have?
this is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who else has dissected this? Because I'd love to get their input.
Me. I have a conspiracy theory about this.
Well, let's
Oh.
go, Peter. Let's hear it.
I know.
Okay, so those coins you see on the list, I believe there is one that can pump really hard, pretty easy. And yeah, what do we know about the this AA type of release? It will take 30 days, and
Mhm.
the pulse will be distributed on the
Day 32.
day 32 and
Oh, day 33. The rankings will be published.
somewhere there. But what makes the difference is the USD value of each coin. So maybe if you were a HEX whale, you could input a lot of HEX into the AA or whatever it will be, and pump the price a little.
The sacrifice lobby, shall we say?
Yeah, sacrifice. Yes, I like this
Yeah.
sacrifice
Yes.
lobby.
Because the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was Okay, I'd be hesitant to go ratio 1-to-1 ETH to Pulse, sacrifice 1 ETH for 1 Pulse. I would do it in a heartbeat for HEX, and obviously at a cent and a half as of today, or it was earlier this morning. I could sacrifice a cent and a half per HEX for a Pulse, but I sure as hell am not sacrificing a full BTC 1-to-1 ratio with Pulse.
No,
So
no.
No, you
obviously these are
will
going to be
buy
on different. So
I-
obviously,
Go ahead.
obviously these are going to be on different ratios, obviously. But I think you're right. In this case, it might be best to sell everything on this list for HEX, and then send it to the sacrifice address for X coin to get Pulse. And
Yes,
at the
yeah.
same time, it's going to pump the shit out of the X price.
Because
have
the
Go
USD
ahead,
value,
Jerry.
it's what will count, right?
Yes.
If I get it. So
I'm hoping
think-
so. I mean, allocated by USD value at fork and whales removed. It does say.
yeah,
Big
so
Kurkowski said that there will be a weighted average over time. So that a certain time duration average for each of these and a dollar value, so it can't be gamed, was his quote. Which means
Yeah,
you don't have
but,
to. I don't think you have to worry about BTC and Aave and any of these other stable coins or whatever. Obviously, stable coins will have a weighted average of like $1, right? But
Yeah.
Link and BTC and Ethereum, etc., all these coins will have an average over, let's say, a year, right? A year average, which would be wacky, or a month, or a week, whatever Richard or whoever is the architect of this entire thing decides. That way, they will have an even ranking in terms of dollar to Pulse variable
X.
to X, which by the way is ingenious. Can we take a step back for a second and talk about X for a
Yes.
moment? All right.
Yes.
X is, I believe, something of a starting block mechanism to establish it was opined by Kurkowski once again that this was a placeholder, which is really ingenious because you can buy into a placeholder and it shows up as a sent to pool a transaction for taxes. So it doesn't have any value at all to anybody. And then at day 33, I think it is, when all of the tallies are done for, as much as a contribution or the day 1 and then added 4 point whatever % per day, all that's calculated and you actually get your payout, then it's kind of figured that it will have a value on day 1. Day 1 is actually day 33 when it gets sent to everybody that actually sacrifice their tokens, meaning no tax event. Your cost basis is when you receive the tokens, not when you buy the placeholder token.
Yes.
Placeholder token is token X, and we don't really care what it is. It's not one of these on the list. It's just a to be named token. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really great because I was always worried about the tax event, right? Like getting these airdrops sucks because there's a value attached.
Well,
and I have
this
to
isn't
sell
an
it right
airdrop, though, is it? This is
No, it
this
isn't.
is you
It is not.
purchasing.
It's not even.
the-
It's not even an A. It's not even an AE. It's not even an adoption amplifier.
It kind of
it's
is though, because
no.
but the
it's
price
not.
goes up each day, doesn't it? So it says the cost of X goes up
4.2%.
But it encourages
each day.
FOMO day 1, then, doesn't it?
which
Yes,
is
it
good.
does.
A
Which is
little
good.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, because
Does
usually you get screwed over day 1, but actually you'll get worse as it goes on.
Mhm.
And then it says a maximum of 59x the price of X when it at 100 million. So if one of those pots gets to 100 million, then they'll get 59% less at anyone who goes in afterwards.
That makes sense. Or
Yeah.
it's 4% per day for 30 days,
Yeah.
right?
4.2%.
Or actually 29
per day.
days. 29 days because the first day is at 0, and then it goes up 4% after that every day until day 30.
But so
yeah.
I reckon probably on the snapshot, so one BTC will probably buy you or be worth a certain amount of X, right? And then one ETH will be worth a smaller amount of X, and then that will then those percentages will be added on top of that on the days or the amount of money going in. Yeah, so it makes sense because you'd have to get more of X if you put a BTC in, then you put a HEX in, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So just to answer, a couple of people were asking about the TWAP, the time weighted average price. So just so everyone knows, you have 30 days to send your coins to the sacrifice address. The cost of X goes up 4.2% per day, which is 3.3X on day 30. The cost of X goes up 4.2% per million USD equivalent. So 59X at 100 million. This is a hard number to choose. On day 31 and 32, the total sacrifices across all chains are measured and credited. Anyone can verify the amounts going into each sacrifice address in real time on each blockchain. On day 33, the final rankings will be published. So it might just be easier to go into HEX, guys, and then do all of this instead of trying to use because if you read the next one, the address to sacrifice from are now in the address set is now prepared to receive new coins. Your private keys to the coins you have sacrificed can now be used to access your new coins on supporting blockchains. PulseChain is currently the only chain we know using the X sacrifice set. So what it's saying there is your private keys that you use to sacrifice for those other chains, you'll be able to claim Pulse with the private keys for those blockchains as well. You guys, this is a whole hell of a lot easier if you have everything on this list to just swap it for HEX, and then day one just go sacrifice all of it for whatever this X token may be. If you guys plan on taking part in this, that might be the way to go. It'll pump everybody's HEX bags. It will not affect too much the price of all the other coins, and you'll still have a more simplified way to gain all your X coins.
But you are going to get a duplicate of all of these things on this list anyway if you have them as well on the new chain.
Yeah.
Not BTC.
Not BTC, correct. Not BTC.
What do you think?
BTC.
Do you think the HEX Pulse snapshot will be done before or after this?
Not XRP.
After. How can
You
it
think
be done
after?
before?
Well,
because you sacrifice your HEX, and then after this is complete, there will be a snapshot. Because if the snapshot is before, then you can.
You're saying, here, Pulse team, take all of my ERC and my PRC 20s at snapshot. I would like to think that it would be beforehand, but it does behoove the system creator to do the fork or the snapshot for the fork after everyone's already sacrificed all their coins to them.
Ooh, that's tricky. Oh, interesting.
I mean, it'd be nice if it was before, if this was after the snapshot.
Yeah.
Because then I'd happily sacrifice my HEX for.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
I know.
That's not really a sacrifice. What the hell?
No, it's a great deal for hexagons. It'd be a lovely,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. Aren't you encouraged? Aren't you encouraged to sacrifice one or the other to get Pulse? Isn't
No.
that? No, you're not.
If it's after, if the snapshot it's
Yeah.
before this happens, then like it wouldn't hurt. Come on.
It's kind of double spending, right? If it is
Yes.
before, it has to be after.
We loved it.
I'm
Let's
easily
encourage Richard to
confused.
do that.
It sounds really complicated to me.
Yes, it does. So obviously,
really,
I think there's some details to iron out here.
Hmm.
But these are some. I mean, it's a thought experiment. It says here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
doesn't say
Well,
anything
usually
about.
the things that Richard designs are pretty simple to use. So
Yeah. Well, but they seem simple on the surface, and then they're always miles and miles deep on the back end. Like, try to explain to a new HEX user T-shares and how the price
Oh, yeah.
ratchets, and
I
how
will never
the
do it.
people who are buying T-shares 10 years from now are going to get so much worse a deal than the people buying them now.
It's
So-
just
with
3 more
onboarding
days,
people.
guys. 3 more days, and we'll know more.
Yeah.
That's what we hear.
3 more days.
Yep, that's what we hear. He said at the end of the month. I'm hoping he does it on our channel here. When I hope he releases the details with the ladies of HEX, because he has got a stream with the ladies of Hex coming up.
Mhm.
Don't you think he's gonna do his own stream again? Maybe a shorter one.
That's
Maybe
enough of that. That's enough of that fudding over there.
maybe he does both. Like he can stream from his
Right.
right?
It might give him something, more for the girls to talk about if he does it earlier in the day. So
I think he probably will do it earlier in the day.
yeah,
I
But
think
is
it
he
was
streaming on Discourse or is he streaming on his own channel? Because
he'll be
assume,
streaming with the ladies on Discourse on Friday night.
because I would assume that if he has something really important to share, then he might do that from his own channel.
Well, why would he do that? It's not like he's got 25 times more viewers on his channel.
Exactly.
It's not like he's got a bigger following. I mean, come on. Why would he do that? Oh, that's great. Good point. Good point. So, News Rob, I really like your point that you're making here. I am curious what will happen to Hex on ETH if OA decides to sacrifice all Hex for X. Will the sacrifice address also belong to OA? So those Hex will stay as before, but on different address.
Ooh, interesting.
It'd be interesting because the OA could really dilute everybody's Pulse holdings. If you guys think about
why
it.
would OA give away the control like on ETH?
Good.
It's a good
Still
point.
have it, wouldn't it?
Good point.
That would slap it.
Because he'd still have it, wouldn't it? So if he gives himself Hex ETH into his own contract for Pulse, then he's still got a Hex at the end of it. Like those coins are going to go to whoever.
Yeah, you know what? He could
Pulse,
just
right?
the OA could just skip that whole process and just airdrop himself the new Pulse tokens itself. The African priest could just airdrop himself or priestess. I don't know. I just heard it might possibly be an African priest at the beginning of this whole launch phase. So this African priest might just airdrop themselves a whole bunch of new Pulse tokens as well. So if so, the address with sacrifice coins will get a copy on Pulse and OA will function on Pulse from it. People who will sacrifice Hex for Pulse loses their copy, gives it to sacrifice. See, that's not necessary because the OA is already gonna get a copy on Pulse anyway.
Yeah, I think that okay. So, like I said, I'm the lowest common denominator on this stream, so I'm the one that's easily confused, and I would say that I'm just happy that we're getting a copy of our Hex. And anything else that we hold on to, as long as it meets to that end to give me something on both sides, I'll probably wrangle that before the whole snapshot if we get the heads up beforehand. That is what I heard KNTX say would be a good idea, and I think I'm beginning to come around.
And guys, when Pulse launches, everything is copied. There is some Pulse version of Uniswap. Imagine so you will get like 10,000 to 1 Pulse to ETH, 10,000 to 1, for your X, and there is a really small liquidity pool on Uniswap. And imagine if you put in, I don't know, just a portion of your Pulse. Like if you buy Pulse Hex for your Pulse, like that price can really go really high against Pulse.
Yeah. Your Hex price can go really high because you've got especially because the ratio is already going to be set by the forking of the automatic market maker, which is we happen to know as Uniswap. And as Pulse comes out as nothing, and then the price of Pulse starts raising, so does the price automatically of Hex just for being paired through an automatic market maker. And if anybody wants to simplify sacrificing their tokens for X, I'm telling you, the easiest way to do this is to sell all of these coins into ETH or USDC and then go into Uniswap and just buy Hex with it. And that'll be the easiest way to claim all of this. And that's to get Pulse. So my question here, and maybe this is more of a question for myself, is am I mortgaging one property or multiple properties to go in? I'm not sure.
Can you mortgage 1.5?
Yes, actually I can. I can mortgage half of the other one.
Go with the middle road.
Oh gosh, man, I just
Come on,
I-
KNTX, you can do
I
better.
don't- I
Isn't
don't
there like leveraged or
You want to be a
mortgaging?
validator, right?
Well, that's the
Sell
thing.
your
Is
business.
it's like I know it'd pay out. I know it would pay out, so I'm not worried about that. I know eventually it's gonna be, at least a 10x, possibly 100 or 1,000x return on this new Pulse if you get in. I'm certain of it, but it's a matter of how long can I float the leveraged payments to the bank until the price does pump to that.
Yeah.
Most of us on stream can sell our blood, our plasma, and our sperm, except for one gentleman who's decided not
Hey,
to.
hey,
There we go.
I probably got a few pulses left in the cannon, and that's it.
No, use
Yeah.
them wisely.
They say 12 weeks. They say 12 weeks. So it's my last
Okay.
shot. Last shot.
Literally.
Oh.
All right, gentlemen, I have to go to do
All right, sir.
work.
Oh.
See you later in the green room.
That'd be great.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Later, Peter.
Bye, Peter.
Oh, I'm trying not to put the FOMO pants on because I'm like literally ready to sell everything I own and be like, we will just start over. We will just start over.
I mean, you still got your HEX interest coming out, so you're not going to be that poor.
That's true. That's true. Just the fact that I'm getting a copy of my HEX really is good enough. I just need to be okay with that. But the thing is this is just complicated enough with these thought experiments that I'm like, well, what is the right way to go? What is the right way to go in without over leveraging?
And I think genuinely the best thing is to wait until we find out more solid information, because like I'm doing the same at the moment. I'm thinking, how much do I want to buy? What do I want to do? Like, with all my money at the moment, and it's like I just want to wait 3 days, find out more information, then speculate on top of that.
Yeah.
And then speculate.
At the cost of 4% per day.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Like, I want to be ready to, if I'm going to make a move, regardless of how large or how small this move is, to acquire this X token to get Pulse, I want to be available. I want it to be ready to go day one. I'm not letting it push the price up against me.
Yeah, the good news is that day one is no longer like the adoption amplifier was kind of like a lottery or a volume lottery, right? Hey, Metallic Elmo, is it called a Dutch lottery? If you pool in and then everybody gets an equal share of everything based on the amount that they pool in?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Never heard of it, to be honest.
Never heard of that.
I think that it's called I think it is called that. It's kind of an even disbursement of funds. But anyway, this is a different model where that doesn't seem like there is a cap on it, is there? And you don't get equal amounts. You just get amount per unit that you put in gets that amount. And then every day it ratchets up by 4-point-something%. So it's different this time. That's the key, is that you can FOMO day one and not feel stupid like me. Stupid day one FOMO pan.
It's better
Do you
to
reckon
do
that?
it.
Do you reckon that 100 million 59x price is 100 million across all the pairs, or do you think it's individual pairs?
Now, I don't understand that because I keep thinking about that, and I'm like, I'm not 100% sure at really what he's trying to get at with the per million USD equivalent, 59x to 100 million.
I think it's per million USD. Isn't it kind of obvious the amount per token, and then as that accumulates to the 100 million,
just on a
then
ratio
we go up
basis,
to the next level.
Just on a ratio
so if there's
basis,
100
X
million
goes up 4.2% per million. Okay.
So I'm guessing, like, say day one, X is worth like 1 BTC, for example, and then the next day it's worth 1 BTC plus the 4.59% or whatever it goes up. When it hits the million, it's like it's like 59x the price of 1 BTC. So like, whatever that would be, a lot of money. That as an example.
Wait a minute. How long is it? How much?
59. So it'd be 59x more expensive after that 100 million cap has been hit.
Okay,
I think
I
that
get
100
you.
million is
Yeah.
cap for cumulative.
I can see how you
sacrifice of
can-
everything, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was per pair, it'd be then you'd get in this situation where you'd be like, well, it'd be better for me to go and buy BTC and put it in there if there's not many people put money in. So it needs to be over the whole thing to make it fair.
Yeah. Yeah. But 100 million is not a lot of value. I mean,
It's not.
It's not going to take long
It's
for
not.
people already have these coins.
It's gonna
Yeah.
cap out day
This is
one,
gonna-
guys.
Dude,
I don't think it'll be
Out
I don't think it'll be day
day
one, but I think like how many days is it? 30 days? Like
30
probably
days.
looking like halfway through, maybe.
but
100
don't you
million.
think? Don't you think that just makes it ratchet up to the next day's amount? I kind of interpreted it as a. It's not a. It ends. We're not he's not raising that 100 million and then everything's done. It's going to be going up to the next tier.
Oh yeah,
up,
yeah.
Well,
like
it
the next
goes up
day's value.
4.2%
So if it did it a
per
day-
million.
Yeah. So if
It
it's
was gonna
then
go-
day 15, it's already gone up every day for 15 days, and then it would have a huge increase on that day, and then I guess the next day it would then go up another 4.9%, whatever it is.
4.2%, yeah.
Or maybe every increment for 4 point whatever percent would be the 100 million. So once it hits 100 million, it goes up, whether it's a whole day is elapsed or not. Is that not
Yeah,
the
it could
case?
do. It could do it midday, and like it depends
Yeah.
on how it's.
And it keeps going up every 100 million increment, even if it, and then of course, if it doesn't, then it does go up the next day. How's that?
Super Hex, I haven't. For the last few days with some of the posts that he's thrown in there, I haven't slept at all because I literally wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like I did this morning. Woke up at 3 o'clock thinking, how do I play this? How is this going to work? What happens if this happens? And which pairing do you really want to buy into on the new PRC20 chain? Which one is going to pump the fastest in respect to the ratio to Pulse? Which I didn't even want to talk about because I didn't want to get anyone else thinking I didn't want to give anyone else a head start and front run me on this. So, but now
Of course, XRP. Come on.
Yeah,
Man,
right.
Like this is Pulse. Pulse is going to pump so hard just from the hexagons. Like, do you know what I mean? Like without anyone else from external. Like, you think how hard we pumped hex in the first year, right? Like, there's more of us now, right? There's a lot more of us now, and this is going to get the attention of other people. Like it is. Like it's not a year launch. It's 30 days. There's going to be people who are going to go, let's do it. Like we're in a bull market. I've made like some money. Let me put 10% of
Love
that
you,
into this.
Cabana. Sorry, just had to throw that out there. Sorry to cut you off there, Henry. Love you, Cabana. I knew I was connecting with somebody at 3 a.m. this morning.
Depends what you were dreaming when you woke up. Hey,
that will stay between me and Cabana. So, I'm just I think it's smart of Wales. He says, yeah, I'm not following closely on purpose. That's probably the right way to make right now because there's so much. Because imagine you're following everything that happens, and then ideas that seem like such a great idea end up not being incorporated, and you've still got it in your mind that that's how things are going to work. Maybe it's best to just wait until there's 100% clarification on it. So.
Yeah.
I
3
mean,
more days, guys. Come on, 3 more
I know.
days.
I'm just
Too
sitting here
long,
like
too long.
I'm like, it really is possible to come up with $500,000 in leverage before this all happens. But man, it's so risky to do something like that. So risky because what does crypto do? It goes down too.
Yeah.
So and it goes down.
There was also like with Pulse will be different. So we don't like. I'm sure Pulse will go up over time. Like obviously not financial advice, but there's going to be a lot of like things like if they're launching the whole ERC token network on there, there's going to be a lot of potential for people to sell those coins into Pulse and then sell Pulse for something else. So there could be a lot of sell pressure. To start with, do you know what I mean? So if you say I don't know, some other ERC 20 token that isn't HEX, and you're like you get your snapshot, you go, yeah, I'll sell that for Pulse, and then you go, I'm going to sell the Pulse and I'm going to go and buy back that token, on the ETH chain. So there is a potential for some large sell pressure to start with on there. Not saying that will happen, but it's potential. Obviously, that could happen.
Yeah,
But over time, it should.
because I'm excited to see. I won't even go back to the thoughts that I've been having because I don't want people to front run me on this, but like I see the Pulse token is a play, but it's not even the major play in my opinion. So you've got a whole new set of pairings now that are being moved over with ratios already set from the existing chain. I see there being huge arbitrage opportunities. Huge arbitraging opportunities.
It's a lottery as well. So if any of those communities decide to do what HEX is doing and keep both chains, then obviously there's a huge potential in those coins, isn't there? As well in price appreciation. So if they just turn around and go, we'll run it on two chains. So like, not only will it, because I'm assuming HEX Pulse is going to go up quite high quite quickly because it's going to start at 0, so people are going to buy it, right?
Pulse starts at 0 and you've already got a ratio set. Just any price appreciation on the Pulse side is going to exponentially push the HEX price up. Yep.
But the HEX Pulse will start at 0 as well. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. Both coins will be 0.
That has to be as well. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's
so there's a buying opportunity on HEX Pulse as well. So if other people are going to use that Pulse chain and use like what's been copied over, then it would also be a buying opportunity with those.
There may not be the ability to buy them until it's already been copied over. So it may have a 0 price, but there's no way you can get your hands on it or anything. It's just dropped to everybody in a snapshot, right? Snapshot duplication, so to speak, and then it goes live.
I think this is great, and it's true. This is going to be so good for Hexicans as early adopters. It's not even funny. Regardless of what happens, this is going to be so good for us.
Oh yeah, it's huge. Chance of a lifetime repeats itself.
I know, speculation on the physics of a parallel crypto versus that universe that hasn't even been created yet. It's true.
It's true. So I'd like to. Can I cough up the red pill, please?
Yeah, right. This is like trying to think about the movies that have time involved in them, with time traveling involved with them. And you're like, well, they screwed up because technically in the paradox, this would happen versus that. And it's like, that's exactly what we're doing. Like, I am so excited for this. I'm like trying hard not to FOMO. Like, I am trying hard to not like all in.
But I don't know where to go all in yet.
I know that's the problem. You don't even know where to go all in.
Let's be honest. We're all going all in somewhere, aren't we? It's gonna happen. So, like we're all in on HEX. Like we now just need to find more money to go all in on Pulse, and then whatever else we decide.
You know, in the cartoons where there's a guy that has like the suspenders that are holding up like a wine barrel is his clothing back in like the old timey picture. Yeah, that's gonna be me. So be sitting there going, how you doing, guys?
We'll do
the whole FOMO, if I may add something, because we're all here sitting, waiting for news, waiting for this new chain to launch. Guys, I just wanted to remind you, it also is a huge opportunity for bad people, for bad players to try and rob us of our crypto. I expect a lot of scamming shit happening as well. So that's the time to double check, triple check every single thing you're going to do with your crypto at that time. Yeah. Because it's going to be crazy in that department as well.
Yeah.
Multi-tiered security posture for everything you do, multiple wallets, hardware wallets. Don't share your keys, etch them into your oldest born on their scalp, and then let them go away.
I'm sure there will be multiple sacrifice addresses, fake sacrifice addresses. There will be multiple contract addresses. Like, just guys, be careful.
Even on that post, it said, I'm pretty sure on that post it said to check Telegram, the website, and somewhere else to make sure you've got the right address.
Yeah, to check PulseChain.com, t.me/PulseChain.com and twitter.com/PulseChain.com bio. Make sure you've got the right addresses.
I would also do a clean install of a laptop and start off fresh on that day, because there's a lot of possibility that there could be keyloggers out there specifically trained toward hexagons and anybody to do with Pulse. So do a clean, fresh install and go forward from there, all virgin. What do you think, guys?
And once you've used that laptop, burn it.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be safe.
Yeah. Or give it to me.
Just make sure you have your
Send it to my
safe pages.
sacrifice lobby.
Give it to Papa
there is
and
a cost.
he'll keep it in his keister.
Well, there is a cost associated to destroying electronics. So if you guys just send them to me, I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll only use a little bit of your crypto on your private keys on the computer you send me. So I love it though.
Sacrifice PO Box Kinetics.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think FOMO is the only way. Richard is clearly trying to incentivize it. I like that comment. He is definitely trying to incentivize it.
So how much of this? So okay, a lot of this has to be. And Richard also said that a lot of this is going to be marketed. It's going to be spun out there and huge announcements and stuff. Why wouldn't you leverage all these idiot, influencers now that you're going to have them in your pocket by gifting them all the stuff and taking a different tack this time? So time-wise, in the next couple of months, would you start to see that start heating up as well, with them knowing that they would get their greedy little mitts on some of that free Pulse to shill it?
I don't know. I'm not certain there's going to be a whole lot of influencers that are sending off to the sacrifice address. I mean, there's going to be the smart ones that will, but I think for the most part they're going to wait for it to be a legitimate chain that's got a few blocks minted and that all signs are good that they're not going to lose their money, and then they'll start buying. They'll be buying Pulse from us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard would never spend, or whatever, some hexagon would never spend money to win over an influencer and get a write-up or evaluation or some buzz going on at all.
Until it's launched, it's better for us, like, for them not to.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, in all honesty, it is. So, like, and we get more Pulse then, right?
Yeah. It's true, but I would like to see this launch done differently. I'd like to see it done the traditional way in crypto, where there's paid influencers, paid social media accounts, and things of that nature to pump the idea.
Start paying them like halfway through the sacrifice lobby though. Let us get in first. And then
let the
believers get in day one, and then they can start pumping it like day 5 or something.
There you go. Give us the first 5 or 10 days, Richard.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
on, Richard.
There's a negative 5 days.
You will get this though. You will get this though. Where do the sacrifices go? You know we're gonna get that. It's where does the ETH go?
But don't you guys think that if Pulse launches and people find out that Richard's behind it, that they're going to gatekeep it again?
Some will, guarantee. Absolutely.
Scam. I think
scam is going to be the first thing that shows up. Scam this and scam that.
I think that because HEX has been around so long now, and obviously they failed miserably the first time around, a lot of them will think twice about doing it this time.
I think you're right.
I don't think people will jump on the bandwagon. So you'll probably still get Peter McCormick, trying to do it, but I just don't think it.
Identity block. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh. But I bet after the release of HEX, Peter McCormick would be a fool to not participate in the release of Pulse. He'd be a fool. Everything that he ever pumped went down to 0, down to nothing, and HEX went to the moon at 400x. And so he's eating his own tears.
And he'll eat them again though. He won't he won't come out.
Well, that's the thing.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
he'd never admit it. Even if he did,
Yeah.
he'd never admit it. But he'd be a
I
fool.
mean, maybe he'll
not
go
to.
and get a bank loan out, again.
A fraudulent bank loan.
Yeah.
Well done.
I don't think we're gonna hear from him, guys. Honestly, he's too
No.
busy looking for a bank that would actually open an account for him.
Didn't he get shut down by his bank because of
Yep.
this? Yeah.
Yep.
Not a good reference.
Awesome.
Oh. But yeah, but people like going back to BitBoy. BitBoy will probably buy this because he made 60 grand. Like he's like, oh, I made 60 grand off of like $200 odd of free HEX or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you'd be
he's going to be
stupid.
he's going to have his hand out saying, "Where's my
Yeah.
freebie this time?"
Yeah.
But he'll be asking for his freebie. But you'd be stupid, like if you're an influencer, right? And you know how well HEX is done, like you'd put $1 grand in it. Like they've got the money.
No,
You,
BitBoy,
at least, you know what I mean? Like you put the
Put
money.
100 grand in it.
no,
I don't think they probably do that because they're not.
No, I
BitBoy's too
am.
busy.
I
buying
am
Subway
because I want to
sandwiches.
be a big whale like Henry someday. So, so it's true though. Chaotic Creations. It's a fork. Everyone is participating, whether they are or not. They are willing. So they will just choose their level of participation. So, as a fork, those who all own ERC20s and ETH, including BitBoy, they're gonna get a copy of it on the other side.
Yeah.
And then ETH on HEX will suddenly appreciate higher than ETH on ETH. That would be, so basically, yeah, okay, that'd be funny.
I think it will appreciate higher though. Like, let's be honest, it's easier for it to pump, isn't it? New tokens go up quicker because it's easier. Like they have low market caps. Like,
of course, but it's not just ETH. It's anything that Richard says thou art coming over. Everything could. The entire cryptosphere could pump higher on. That is the point.
This is a bigger deal than anyone understands. Think about this. This is a bigger deal than anyone understands. You like a token, you wish you were a whale in it, cool, you can be now if you want, because your Pulse will be able to buy a large amount of the supply at launch. And that's for all tokens, even oddly the HEX ERC20 itself on the Pulse chain. It's going to be wild.
So you have to have Pulse. Wait, I have a question about the second paragraph. You have to have Pulse at launch of what to get all the tokens that you want of your favorite token? How do you get? Well, how does this work?
Once there's a market, so like once there's, and I'm assuming Richard is going to fork some sort of Uniswap or get Uniswap or 1inch or someone to to support the Pulse chain if he doesn't fork it himself. Then you'll be able to open market buy for any token. Once there's a market there, so that's the thing that will need to be built as well. Is some
the launch of the DEX. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
The launch of the DEX. That's what it means by paragraph 2. Done. Understood. Thank you.
Yep.
Great.
There might be a chance that we'll even have some Pulse in our wallets at a 10,000 to 1 ratio to ETH at the time of the fork. Anyway, that's what leads me to believe that the sacrifice address will happen after the snapshot in the fork.
Because freemium do get delivered to those holders of those other tokens as well.
Yes. So not only the duplicate ERC20 holdings, but a 10,000 to 1 Pulse to ETH holding. So if you have an ETH in your wallet, hopefully you get 10,000 Pulse, if I'm understanding that correctly.
That's what I was understanding too. Krakowski was saying that was a little bit cloudy, and I think that he and Blue Bum were having a bit of a debate on the chat. So I wanted to get that through. That you and I are on the same page, KNTX. I thought
I don't think that's right. So I don't think.
Henry.
I don't think 1 ETH will be worth 10,000 Pulse. So it would be the same as like when you swapped your Bitcoin for HEX, like it was worth less. So surely it would be the same. Like 1 ETH would be worth like, I don't know, 1/10 of an ETH or something, 1/10 of a Pulse or something. Because otherwise you're gifting like a huge amount. Well, it depends on what comes out of the lobby. I guess the lobby could have 100 times the amount of coins that they airdrop.
He's saying he's going to fork out whales. Think about that. If the whales get forked out on their ETH and you get a 10,000 to 1 Pulse to ETH ratio at the time of the fork, And then Chaotic Creations brought up here, and I think he's correct on this, just from what I've
Yep.
been reading, that X is a totally separate bonus game on top of that. So we of course, none of us know for sure. So none of us can claim we're right over the other on this one, because none of us actually know for certain. But I think that having the bonus game on top of the fork and the 10,000 to 1 ratio would be phenomenal. And here's another thing. Here's why I don't think it's unreasonable to have a 10,000 to 1 pulse to ETH, is because I don't know if you guys remember from let me just pull it back up again here, from the post that we were looking at earlier. But down here at the bottom, it says there is zero inflation, and 25% of every fee is going to get burned. So 33 validators burn 25% of the fees. People can delegate to the validators to reward them back the largest percent of fees, and 0% inflation, guys. That means this is a completely deflationary token. There will never be more minted again. So, and 25% of everything spent, even if it's only 1 cent worth of transaction fee, a quarter of a penny is being burnt every time there's a transaction done. This is going to ratchet that price of Pulse up, because there will never be more Pulse. Not to mention how many people are going to lose keys. How many millions of Pulse are going to get lost when people throw out a hard drive or forget their password or forget their seed phrase? So that's another whole other dynamic to all of this, is price go up on Pulse, because it has to. Even if demand stays the same and never goes down, there will never be a new supply to offset that demand.
Yeah. And the fact that the HEX community will be using Pulse means that there will always be transactions on it, right? So there's always going to be fee burning, which is great. So even if no one else used it, even if no other token used the chain, which is very unlikely, right? You'd still get fee burning from every HEX transaction that was done on chain for the next however many years.
We haven't even touched on. So you've just talked about fee burning, or the fees are 1/4 of them are burnt, 25% burnt. But what about staking and delegating to the nodes? That's going to be another insane thing to be gaining on for the remaining 75% of the fees, correct?
Yeah, so the remaining 75%, those validators that are going to get the delegated stakes to the validators from the Pulse holders are going to be those who promise to give a larger percentage of the rewards of each node validation to the people that have delegated their stakes to you. So the interesting thing about that is those who are willing to stake their Pulse with a validator are going to get returns on their Pulse as well from every fee that goes through. Now, the validators that are going to get the most people delegating to stake their Pulse to the validators are the ones who are going to share in the highest percentage of those 75% of those fees that are collected. So I don't know if that makes sense to everyone. I don't know if I said that very well, but in other words, if I delegate say Papa B is a validator and I've got extra Pulse, and I delegate my Pulse to him to be a validator, and my expectation as a delegator is that Papa B, as he earns rewards from validating blocks, is going to cut me in. Yep, he's going to share the payments with me.
Yeah, basically, validators will compete for delegations by offering more
rewards,
larger percentage of fees, right?
Yeah. But wasn't there? I don't know if this actually was happening, but wasn't there a mechanism that something like the biggest supply wouldn't always get the block? Is that right? Wasn't it weighted more to like the people with?
I don't know what his plans are for node validation yet, because there's different ways you can run that.
Yeah,
there are different ways you can run that, but we'll see. we'll see.
I mean, it's another way to make money, though, isn't it? If you've got the equipment to do it, run some nodes.
Yep.
It's like he just wants us to be able to be rich. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's like he said in SciVive, you give the people what they want, and then you sell them on the idea of what they need. So everybody wants sex, drugs, rock and roll, and to be rich. So you give that to your followers, and then you give them what they really need. Hey, now that you've got all the money and all the free time in the world, now let's go work on the important things. Let's go work on this medical technology. Let's work on longevity.
I'm going to need 5,000. Well, look, I don't have the luxury of waiting like you kids do until the pills only cost $1 a piece. I'm going to have to pay $5,000 a day for my longevity. I need damn now. Make me the damn guinea pig.
You could just test subject.
Yeah.
Maybe your hair will grow back.
Well, we almost hit 100 viewers. Well, actually, we got 4 on Theta, so we're at 102 viewers right now.
Woo!
Just in time.
Nice.
Just in time for us to, and of course, I keep forgetting everyone over here on Theta. Sorry, guys. Let's give these out here while you're here. Give out some goodies. Give out some goodies. Give it some snacks. Free candy spray painted on the side of my van over here. So,
Sick.
That's how you got in trouble before.
Shh, we don't talk about that. All right, guys. Got it. Got you guys some stuff. So now that we've broken 100 viewers, it's time for us to be done
Play
with
the
this
outro.
episode, guys. What's that?
Play the outro.
Play the outro.
All right, guys. And on that, we will see you guys.
Yep.
What? No, go ahead. I'll give you one last
Everyone-
chance. Yours.
Go ahead.
Everyone has to do a markable. Metallic Elmo, do your best markable. Play the outro.
How do we do that?
All you got to say is play the outro in an outlandish Dutch accent, and you can do it better than anyone else.
Raise your hand.
Play the outro.